What's going on, guys? This Coach Newt back in the building with another one. Anytime is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews. It's another wild one about a man who unalived his wife, child, and in-laws. Man, yeah, some crazy stuff. So let's check it out.
The police say a man went on a rampage last night, shooting and killing his wife, his 6-year-old son, and the in-laws. KTV's Crystal Bailey live tonight in Alameda after speaking with those who knew the family. Crystal.
Well, this has been a tragedy for everyone here in this small community. People have been coming from all areas here, people who knew them, people who didn't know them, just to leave flowers and tokens behind. And the people who knew the family say that they were warm, friendly, outgoing, and they say there were no red flags and no signs of trouble.
All right, man. You already know off top mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making, man. And this one is a crazy one because the guy, not only did he unalive the wife, he unalived the child and the in-laws, man, which is a serious case of like mental health and, like I always say, how important it is to make sure that your mental health is, intact and you're aware of it, like if you need help or not, and like the person that you with, if they need some mental help or something, if you should even be with them, if things are getting crazy. And another point, like this lady said that the family seemed friendly, warm, and welcoming. And again, you never know from the outside looking in what's really going on with a family. And there were no red flags. All it takes is for one person to, have a mental breakdown, and it could happen at any time, especially if they're battling with like mental illness and it goes unchecked. This is the kind of thing that happens. To me, in this case, it seems like this guy has some things that he was dealing with for a while and he didn't know how to positively get those out, or like seeking help, counselor, therapist, something like that. A lot of times people feel like they don't need it, and it's actually a good thing to, get counseling or talk to a therapist or something like that, because you never know. It might be the person that ends up talking some sense into you or helping you realize that you did have some problems that you needed to deal with and getting that taken care of.
It's unbelievable. A multi-generational family dead in a tragic domestic violence situation.
This person's actions were those of a coward.
After a husband and father shot his family. Alameda police say it was 54-year-old Shane Killian. Neighbors say this is a picture from his Facebook account. At around 9 o'clock Wednesday night, police say he fired multiple shots inside the home on Kitty Hawk Road, killing his wife, in-laws, and their older son, a 6-year-old boy.
All right, so yeah, Facebook look cool. I mean, it's not like he's gonna put he's a killer on Facebook, and then like I said, he just had some things that he needed to deal with, and he didn't do that in a positive way, and it ended up coming out. He took it out on the whole family, and what makes me lean more towards like mental health in this particular situation is the fact that he unalived so many people, including his children, like or the child. Like the child didn't do anything. The in-laws probably didn't do anything. And yes, a lot of times, the woman to go back and talk to her mom or one of her siblings or family members if something's happening or she's having problems with you, because we know that, females do that, man. And it just makes me feel like he had been arguing with her or something like that, because arguments, when somebody feels like they need to prove a point, they always go overboard, especially when mental health is involved, just to prove a point, and then at the end of the day, end up making some type of mistake or a decision that you wish that you could take back and it's too late in this situation. So
Neighbors remember him fondly.
There's a little boy named William. He's so cute. Like, he just goes around and says, "Hi, hi, how are you?"
A 1-year-old is the lone survivor who was also shot. When police arrived, they say they found the grandfather outside.
yeah, now 1-year-old, man, that's crazy that he even did that to the 1-year-old. That is even more testimony to my point about mental health. Like, come on now, you know those kids didn't do anything, man. Just even being around somebody like that though is, you're putting yourself at risk. They probably didn't know he might have just spazzed out on that particular day in that time and decided that that was it. And it's crazy because he didn't shoot himself in this case, and a lot of people do. So it couldn't have been that. He just probably blacked out and then came back to it. Whatever he did, it just was a terrible decision, and it affected that whole family, and it affected his family. Especially the victim's family, because he took the in-laws too, like wiped out generations from the grandparents to his wife to the child. That's 3 generations right there, man. That's crazy. So if you feel like you have to do that to anyone, you shouldn't be around them. Even if it is your kids, your wife, your grandparent, whatever, the in-laws, anything like that, man. You need to go seek some help immediately. Go work on yourself. Do what you have to do to get back to where you need to be mentally, physically, spiritually. Because, if you don't stand for nothing, then you fall for anything, man. That's why it's so important to be spiritually connected with whatever God you believe in, and, your consciousness is right, because that has a lot to do. They all tie in together, physically, mentally, spiritually, So.
Believe that he was injured inside the home or on the property, and then went to his neighbor's house to call for help.
That neighbor left cleaning up the mess.
Unfortunately, the city is not giving us any help at all with cleaning up blood and bloody bandages from my property.
If it ended up spilling over the next door, they're probably not going to help you, but it's not like, I don't know, but, they're probably more than likely, you just going to have to clean it up off your car or whatever. However, you the landlord of that property, they just come through and take, crime scene investigators come through, take pictures, all the evidence, get the bodies out. And after they're done with that, they release the property back to you, and then you take care of it anyway. So they don't really clean up like that after the scene. They just collect evidence and things like that.
Heartbroken neighbor who does not want to show her face says her children played with their children.
They loved riding their bikes up and down, and they would push the little one in a little push car. How could we have let our own kids play there and not know?
Police say Killian came out of the house and did not resist arrest. Multiple firearms were recovered from the home.
Hopefully they'll find out what was in the suspect's head at the moment and what's potentially caused him to snap.
Officers.
Something evil was in his head and it caused him to snap, man. And when you don't have a spiritual connection with the Most High, or then spirits and different type of thoughts get in your head, man. And like I always say, what you think becomes your reality. What you eat, what you listen to, all of it, whatever you put in your body, it has an effect on you. And that's why it's so important to monitor what you put in your body, not just your food. Like I said, what you drink, what you listen to, what you hear, what you read, what you see, your environment, all of that stuff matters, man. So like who knows what he was listening to or doing or whatever when that particular situation happened. He's right. It really, it couldn't have been anything too positive, man, that made him act like that.
Working tirelessly to gather evidence in the investigation.
They're going to stay focused on making sure that this family receives the justice that they deserve.
Killian was booked at the Santa Rita jail facing multiple charges. And we don't know yet what led to the shooting. Police say that 1-year-old is still in the hospital fighting for his life in critical condition. A horrible story for everyone involved. I'm live in Alameda. Mike, back to you.
Horrible indeed.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It is a horrible thing, especially for the younger kids, man. They never deserved that. They didn't do anything. They're innocent at that age, 6 years old and 1 year old. Hopefully he pulls through. And now he's just gonna, that man put the burden of taking care of a child on somebody else. Man, he wasn't thinking at all. He wasn't thinking about his future or anybody else's for that matter. And, as a man, we're all leaders of the household, head of the household, leaders of the family. That's why it's so important to make the best decision for yourself, because you're making a decision for other people too, especially if you have kids, other people that depend on you, a wife, things like that. They're not expecting you to spaz out like that. They're expecting you to have the mental capacity to do what you need to do, get out of there, or something like that, and make the best decision for everyone. Anyways, man, it's Coach Noob. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. And your time is always appreciated, because you could be doing anything but you heard me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.